Have you ever had one little bright idea turn into a whole experience? Because that is exactly what happened to me with this Thanksgiving project. Welcome back to Antonia's AI Lab, where I'm showing you how I actually use AI in my everyday life, not just for business and not just for content. It's not just for me to create thumbnails and videos, although it is, but I also use it in my real life, in my home and at the table with my family to boost my creativity and inspire me, and sometimes even with a Dollar Tree challenge. So this whole thing started, let me tell you, with one simple thought. I had a real picture from my 2024 Thanksgiving dinner. It was just a plate of food on my dining room table that I had already prepared. And one day I just thought, I'm going to just ask ChatGPT to take this plate and place it into a beautiful Thanksgiving Day table setting without changing anything about the way I plated it at all. Keep it original. I emphasize that. I do suggest you guys emphasize certain things. You will learn as you go so that it makes sure. My goal was to have my exact plate of food added to this beautiful setting. And honestly, I think in the back of my mind, I was already hoping it might give me a little inspiration for this year's table. So I asked, and then I sat back and waited. And when I saw the image, I'm telling you, I just loved it. I had that moment of, wow, I would really like to recreate this. I felt that right away. It had that warm Thanksgiving atmosphere. I saw those candles and the table settings, the tablecloth, the flowers, floral arrangement as well. It had those golden tones. It made it feel just cozy. A real good family dinner feeling. I looked at it and I thought, wait a minute. This is beautiful. So then the next idea came just like that. You know how it happens. I said, hey, Chat, can you turn this into a Thanksgiving dinner invitation card? So I'm waiting in anticipation, and that is how the invitation was born. Now, when it produced the invitation, I just loved it, just as a whole. I really did. It was elegant and warm. Chat had dimmed the background colors a little and chose beautiful font. I just told it like some elegant, whimsical. That's how I would like to emphasize that you talk to the AI when you're working with it. You're being yourself, and what you're trying to do is express in words as well as you can the creation that's in your imagination, the visual or the outcome of what you're trying to achieve. So you use the best words like if you would be trying to explain it to any other person that you're working with. And that's when, the real work begins. It's not complicated. We're just experimenting here. That's why I'm sharing this story, so you can see how one thing fell into the other. And as I'm telling you the story, that's how I talk to ChatGPT. So the more I looked at it, though, my eye kept going somewhere else. Not just to the plate or that beautiful lettering, and not just to the candles. It was all gorgeous, but my eye kept landing on that floral centerpiece in the background. And that is when another light bulb moment happened, and the light went off, and I thought, hey, wait a minute. I want to try to recreate that floral piece, the centerpiece. I wanted to see if I could make something similar for my real Thanksgiving Day table with some artificial flowers, and they'll use those beautiful fall colors. And now, here's the thing. I had to be budget-wise because at the time last year, November, I was getting ready for my hip replacement surgery that was coming in January. And I knew that I was going to be off work for about 3 months. So this was not the season to be running around spending a whole lot of money on decorations, which made the Dollar Tree challenge that much more exciting because I said, let's see if I could really pull this off. And it gave me something to look forward to. And, on the budget-wise Thanksgiving, I was able to get excited. But of course, I still wanted the beauty. I still want that warmth. And I wanted the table to feel special. I always do. I always think these things out. Like weeks in advance. That's just my thing. So I challenged myself. And I said, let me go to Dollar Tree and see if I can recreate this whole look with what I could find there, And listen, Dollar Tree, man, send me a check. No, but seriously, I walked into Dollar Tree and I started looking at those artificial fall flowers with a whole different eye. I had passed by, first of all, let me tell you, I had the little, image that ChatGPT had made. So I had it right in front of me and I'm looking at it, I'm like, yes, we have the colors. We don't have the exact shape of flowers, but it's about, let's get creative, So, and I'm thinking, I had passed by these flowers like hundreds of times before. I've been going into Dollar Tree for many, many years. But this time, I had a vision in mind. You know what I'm saying? I had the AI image in my memory, and right there, I checked it out right quick on my phone, and I started looking at the flowers. I saw them in a whole different glory, and I got my color palette check it's in my frontal cortex vision now, and I knew what I was looking for. I needed those oranges and deep reds, the golden yellows, all that burgundy tones that you see there, those warm fall colors that make everything feel so rich and cozy. That's what the image that ChatGPT made me feel. And you know what? I was honestly surprised how well it was going along as I'm finding and the creations coming, into manifestation there, I'm being embodied. Like I'm embodying the imagination. Now I'm like, I believe now this idea really has potential now that I'm here seeing. And, as you're seeing it and choosing the flowers, it's coming together in your mind. So everything was working. The textures were working. All the little pieces were starting to make sense. And I also found those thin fabric leaves in a bag. And I knew right away I could sprinkle them around the table to help pull the whole look together. I even made a wine carafe that I just, added a little border of sequins. They're the orange little sequins, bow tie type material. I used my hot glue gun to put that border. And I just put a few of those little leaves around the border, and even the wine carafe was matching the whole setting. I chose to use a green tablecloth, and it came together beautifully. So let's get back to Dollar Tree. I digressed. So I bought these flowers and all the leaves and everything else and took it home, and I just was eager to start working on it. And then the magic happened. There it was. My creation inspired by AI. The creation of my imagination, but made with my own hands. I dare to say this one was a tie. AI gave me the spark, but my hands brought it to the table. And what I love about this is that I did not copy everything exactly to the T. I let the image inspire me, but I still brought my own taste into it. I used my own table, my own green tablecloth, my own candle holders that I already knew I had at home. They were golden, they would work. My own long white wax candles and the glassware and everything else were my own little touches. The AI image had like one kind of feeling, but my real table had my home in it. And that is the part that I love. And I believe that's the part you will love as well. Because this is not about AI replacing your creativity. This is about AI waking something up in you. It gives you a picture, or you tell it something that you're thinking and picturing in your mind, and the idea you're having, the spark that you got. And then, what's in your mind's eye with your words, hopefully you might have to work with it a little bit. When it renders the first image, you might have to say, oh, that's a good start, but I'm thinking we change this or we add that, etc. You work with it. So it's incredible. But that was not the end of it. A couple of days later, on Thanksgiving morning, I took it a step further because the day before I had bought all these beautiful ingredients for a charcuterie board. And I had the meats and the cheeses, olives, the crackers. You'll see pita bread and roasted red pepper hummus, the pickles, the salami, prosciutto, the rosemary, the works, all of it. So I said, hey, let me ask ChatGPT what I have. So I told it about all the ingredients I bought and even told it the names of the cheeses. And I asked for a little visual inspiration because I am more of a visual learner. I have to admit that. And I know I would get inspired by it. And this is what it gave me. Now, let me be fair. It was decent. Yes, it had potential. And it gave me a place to start. But this is where human creativity stepped in all the way in. Because once I sat in front of my huge whiteboard and started laying out those ingredients, my imagination just took off. I did not have the whole thing mapped out perfectly. It started happening as I was going along. I began seeing little pathways of cheese, and then I saw where the salami roses needed to sit. I saw where the olives could anchor the board, and then I noticed that the crackers needed to have their own little moment. I saw where the prosciutto cubes could be sprinkled and fill in spots, any type of whiteboard spots that were left. I saw where the rosemary could add that fresh touch and how all the colors could start flowing together. And before I knew it, this was no longer just a charcuterie board. This was like a food mosaic. It was a whole edible piece of art. I'm telling you, AI gave me the suggestion, but baby, my hands brought the art. So let me just tell you guys one more thing. When the family saw it, they were just shocked. I left it for like a moment. I didn't tell them till they got to my home and walked in, and it was the appetizer piece. They were looking at it like, wait a minute, who made this? Where'd you order this from? And the beautiful thing is, they did not just look at it, they truly enjoyed it. We had 3 different kinds of olives, roasted red pepper hummus. Like I told you, the works. And as the board started disappearing piece by piece, I actually enjoyed watching that too. Because that is when you know something really worked and they're really, really taking pleasure in the experience. It was beautiful enough to admire, yes, but good enough to eat. And it became part of the Thanksgiving conversation for sure. So I just wanted to share one of those little unforgettable moments that happened at my Thanksgiving table. And thanks to AI and how I have included it in my everyday life. And honestly, that is what made the whole Thanksgiving feel so special. Because of how I then was really just a month into working with AI and having downloaded ChatGPT. And I realized, wow, I started that day to truly see the potential before the branding and the brands and the channels, because the past 6-7 months have been wild. And that's the journey I'm going to share with you guys. And this also, I want to emphasize that this was not just about making a picture with AI. This was about taking one picture from real life, using the AI to help me imagine something beautiful, and then bring that inspiration back into my real life. One Thanksgiving Day plate became AI table setting. That table setting then became an invitation. And that invitation inspired a centerpiece. And that centerpiece became a Dollar Tree challenge. And then the same creative energy helped inspire that beautiful charcuterie board. I mean, that turned into food art. That is what I mean when I say I use AI in my everyday life. Not because AI does everything for me, but because sometimes AI helps me see what is possible, different types of possibilities, the potential in things. It helps me organize the vision. And it helps me it gives me a visual starting point, because we all have these visuals in our mind, and with our words we can prompt AI to bring them to life visually, which then will, continue to inspire us further. That's what I'm trying to portray and let you guys get here. So maybe it can help you work with AI differently. And what I love is that I get to bring my own creativity and personality, I use my own hands, what I have in my home, and I put my own story into it. So when people ask me what Antonia's AI lab is all about, this is one of my favorite examples. It is not just about prompts and technology. It's about how to use the prompts and technology to enrich your life. And the beautiful lady that you have been seeing throughout my entire video is my precious mom. She will be turning 92 this Thursday, May 28th. Glory to God. And the whole family is so happy to have her here with us, enjoying these wonderful moments and making more memories.
Come into the lab with me. Welcome to Antonia's AI lab, where imagination comes to life and dreams begin to move. AI is just the tool, the vision comes from you. Create it, build it, bring it into view. Come into the lab. Ideas turn into something real, healing purpose, dreams revealed. Stepping